Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I am Chris from iLather.com, and today we're going to do a budget shaving video. We're going to use Arko stick, which you see here, not very expensive at all. Frank shave, synthetic brush, FaTip. This is the closed comb version. I'm not sure what it's called. But before I get to it, I want to show you. You all might be aware that the Shaving Shop Club put out a soap called Monster. I have the most exclusive version called the Mini-Mobster. This is in a smaller tub, and it's signed by the great Peter Charkalis on the back. Look at that. This is the most exclusive version of the Mobster. Mini-Mobster by Peter Charkalis. I guess he fancies himself as a Mini-Mobster. I don't know. Smells nice, by the way. I was asleep when they actually released it for ordering, so I missed it. But, you know, you're going to have that sometimes. All right, let me wet the face. We're going to get started with our shave stick. Stay tuned. All right, and some of you said it's hard to see the stubble, so I took a few shots there, and you can see that's my daily growth. It's not thick, but the hairs are coarse, and yes, I do grow a beard, actually. So there's a few shots for you to look at. And all right, with that out of the way, let's start loading. And again, it's not difficult to load from a shaving stick. Just rub it on your face, and going against the grain, it will pick up soap. And you'll see it as I go across the stash there. See how it picks it up? The stubble picks up the soap, and you can, when it gets a little tough to move, just re-wet the stick, and you know, load as heavy as you like to make sure you get plenty of soap to work with. And we'll do that today. But it's actually not a bad form factor in terms of a soap. You get, you know, really nice load, and it makes a really nice lather, and it works well. Okay, I think we're good there. I think we've got enough soap. Let's set our shaving stick aside and get our brush. Of course, you're going to want to wet your brush, which I will do now. Again, this is a Frank shaving brush. Not expensive. Not expensive at all. And you just start going back and forth or swirling, or however you generally prefer to make your lather. This guy has a good bit of backbone. Actually, not a bad synthetic brush. They're usually fairly inexpensive. This Arko, by the way, the quality of it has never been a question. The question is whether you like the scent. And it's an industrial lemon type scent. Like, sort of reminds you of lemon pledge or a lemon cleaner of some sort. I don't mind it at all. In fact, I find it to be, you know, fresh smelling. It smells like clean. What is better than clean, right? I guess if it were Pine Sol or something, I wouldn't appreciate that very much. But you get the idea. Anyway, this stuff makes a beautiful lather. Very good quality soap. Not expensive. Comes out of Turkey. And it really does a good job. Let me add a little more water. Bring a little more moisture to the party. And I'm flipping lather all over the place. And by the way, I'm going to give away this brush and the razor you see today. So, if you want to be entered for that, email me. If you want to be entered a second time, share the video as you have been doing, and I will enter you to win both this brush and the razor. Of course, I'll drop the razor in Barbara's side before I send it to you, and I'll wash the brush out as well. But I always recommend, when you get a shaving product that's been used like a razor, to make sure you disinfect it. It's a little more difficult on the brush, but usually I'll use some Dawn or something, and that will suffice. Okay, Nice lather. Let me get this lather out of my nose before we get started. Stand by. And let's execute this extra lather down way low on my neck. You know, I'm not Italian or anything, so the hair doesn't grow way down. Not that it does on all Italians, but I've noticed that a lot of my buddies that are Italian, like their beard or hair grows from their face all the way down to their chest. Like, so they've got to shave way down there. Not so much for me. And today we're going to get started with the FaTip. This particular one is one of those where you have to make sure the blade is centered, and that has been a problem for FaTips. Sometimes they just don't center themselves as you put them, as you put the blade in the razor. The blade, by the way, is Derby Extra on day 3. So if it gets rough, I'll just put another blade in. You know, no need to push it. But this will definitely be the last shave on this blade. Anyway, you can center the blade in this, but you sort of have to hold the edges and make sure you center it. So whoever wins, and the deadline for this will be, you know, next week. Not this coming Sunday, but next. So plenty of time to check out the video, share it, or whatever you want to do. Email me. Anyhow, the razor will work just fine, but you do have to make sure that blade is centered. So I want to make sure you are aware of that. Okay. Nice first pass. Stand by. We'll come back for pass 2. All right, here we go. Pass 2. Boy, Arko is an excellent soap. There's just no doubt about it. Absolutely fantastic. As long as you don't mind the scent. And why it's so polarizing, I'm not sure. It even smells maybe a little like a citronella type scent, but I don't mind it. I was thinking about Peter Charkalis there, and you know, in life when you face adversity or tough times, you know, folks usually have 2 choices. They can either press on and persevere and come back harder, or, you know, just sort of submit and flop over and yell uncle. But Pete has really stepped up his game. You know, he had that little flap with the Barrister Man soap. That didn't work out for either party. But boy, since that time, he has come back with a vengeance in that shaving shop, putting great product out after great product. And I couldn't be happier for him, because he's a genuinely nice guy. And to me, he has always been true to his word. He's got a nice family. And he's just a breath of fresh air, I think, in terms of what he brings to the community, the humor. He's a good sport. He doesn't take himself too seriously, you know, and he went through a tough spell, but boy, he has come back with a vengeance. And that's how you do it. That shows the type of stuff that you're made of. And he's made of good stuff, that Charkalis. Executing that lather. He's made of tough stuff. I couldn't be happier for him, because I do consider him to be a friend. So I've got Hemingway and Bad Habits on the way. I was a little behind on buying things because I've had so much stuff coming in. I have a budget too, and I try to stick beyond that. I bought, you know, a couple of premium razors, sort of with my income tax, you know, return money, a few premium razors that I love, by the way. And I've seen a lot of people have been getting charcoal and timeless, and they're loving it, and that makes me so happy, because I don't get a thing out of it from either company, but I love those razors. And when I love something, then I see that other people too appreciate it at the same level. I feel like I've done my job. And so it's very rewarding when you use something like that, and then you see it pick up. And really, both guys have emailed me and have told me their business has been very brisk, and I couldn't be happier for them. They deserve it. You know, they are real artists and craftsmen, and so that is fantastic. It's the same with Peter Charkalis. He's been nailing it. He has been killing it. And I'm quite happy for him. And I hope he makes more of this Mobster. Although, even though I have the Mini-Mobster, I'll probably buy it too. Or maybe I'll try the Mini-Mobster first and see if I like it. But he's been killing it. So, congrats, Pete. Excellent job. All right, let's rinse the face. We'll come back with pass 3. All right, here we go. Pass number 3. Boy, I got to tell you, the weather has been crazy. It's been warm. And today it's a little cooler. It's like in the 30s. But yesterday we had winds that just ripped through here. It reaped all kinds of damage. Fortunately, not in my town here in Charleston, but like down southern West Virginia. Man, it ripped roofs off buildings and power's out all over the place. And so I feel very fortunate to have escaped that, because we've been through that before. We had what's called a derecho that went through here a few years ago, which I had never heard of. But it's a type of storm system with high winds, and you know, high winds like in the deep south where they get hurricanes and stuff is not uncommon. They're used to it. But here, when you get really high winds, you know, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, with all these trees all over the place, it wreaks havoc and devastation. And yesterday was one of those days where it was just, it stormed and rained, but boy, that wind, the wind is really what's killer. I mean, when it gets up like that, we really have a lot of trouble, because the power companies don't keep the friggin' the trees cut a lot of times from around the power lines. And well, you know what happens when limbs start falling and trees start falling. It becomes ugly. Anyway, there we go. Again, this will be up for giveaway. Not this Sunday, but it'll be announced the following Sunday. And as well as this razor. And it's done a good job, but like I said, you do have to make sure that blade is centered in there, equal exposure on both sides. And again, that's sort of a knock on FaTip, and interestingly, it doesn't happen on every single razor. Like the open comb that I have, it centers itself just fine. This one did not. So that's sort of the mixed bag that you get with FaTip. I've owned probably maybe 4 over the years, and 2 out of the 4 I've had to, you know, fiddle with it to get it centered, and the other 2 were fine. So QC, quality control, is not probably where it should be. However, if you don't mind making sure that blade is centered, it shaves just fine. It's a good shaver. But ideally, I'd like to see razors where the blade always centers itself as you put it in, so you don't have to fool around with it. But there is a little bit of an edge left there, so where you can make sure it gets centered. So there's that. And you know, really it's produced a nice shave, and the quality of the Arko is quite good. A post shave, I don't think it's fantastic, but as far as providing slickness, cushion glide, and all that stuff during the shave, it's quite good. And let's get the stash. All right, let us rinse the face. We'll come back and do the post. Stay tuned. All right, and in comes the magic made by Witch's Thayer's Witch Hazel. There's our spot for Thayer's. Love the stuff. It's fantastic. Use it every day. Very much appreciate it. This one happens to have cucumber, which to me it's the most neutral scent that I've tried. It doesn't interfere with your aftershave or anything, and it's great. All right, quick review of the equipment before we move on. FaTip. This one is the regular standard bar, which will be up for giveaway not this Sunday, but next. But you can email me or share it to enter and email me that you shared it for another entry. Frank shaving brush. This is a nice little synthetic brush. A good backbone on this brush. So if you're looking for synthetic with backbone, frank shaving. And of course we used Arko stick, which is really a fantastic quality soap. If you can get by the scent, if it doesn't bother you, it's really good stuff. And today we're going to continue our value mission with RazoRock Baby Blue. And this is a huge bottle of aftershave. Yes, it's that big. This is my head, which is not small, and there's the aftershave. And this guy I think was like 20 bucks or something like that when I bought it many years ago. I don't know if they still sell it, but it's really nice value. A lot of product in there. It's got like sort of a barbershop scent, a powder, sort of like Floyd, but not exactly. It doesn't hang around a long time, so you're pretty safe to use this with your cologne if they still sell it. I don't know if they do, but it's a lot of aftershave and it feels nice on the face. And just like that, we've gotten another fantastic shave, a fantastic start to the day. Get in there, get to work, and hopefully accomplish some things today. Thank you all for watching, and remember, until next time, let's help make the whole world shave great once again.